Mary, the black or the white, the white image of Mary Christ. You got it on the wall. That's a cursed thing. Right. Get that off your wall. Right. Before your house is a curse like it. Right. The crucifix.
Well, I don't celebrate Christmas, but I like decorating trees.
I like to decorate. I don't celebrate Christmas, but I like ornaments. And you got ornaments all over your house that say Christmas on it. No. Right? Get those things out of your house, out of your surroundings. Fill your surroundings with the glory of the Most High God. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
That's what you do. You like things. You like ornaments. You'll get your menorah, get your Torah, your horns, your lions, your wolves, your everything that represents the children of Israel. You know, if you want to decorate your surroundings, decorate it in righteousness. Right? Don't have that dancing elephant that wear jewelry when you know that's one of them gods of the Christian of Krishna.
Hindus. Oh,
Hindus.
Yeah, come on.
Right? Put commandments, frame up some commandments and hang those on the wall. So at least it's a blessed thing. It's not a cursed thing. All right, let's read.
Well, like we read last week, that's something we should put on the post of our doors.
Right.
Everyone's house, it don't got to be on the outside of your house, but if you want to, you can put it on the outside of your door. But when you come inside your door, you should have the law right there as a reminder when you go in and out your house. Mm-hmm. So this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 1. All the commandments which I command thee this day shall ye observe to do, that ye may live and multiply, and go in and possess the land which the Most High sware unto your fathers. Mm-hmm. And thou shalt remember all the way which the Most High Yahweh thy power led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee.
To what?
To humble thee.
Go ahead.
And to prove thee.
Mm-hmm.
To know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no.
Right, so some of you might ask that question. Why did it take 40 years for you to go from Egypt to Israel when they're not that far apart? Why did it take 40 years? Because the Most High was what? Humbling us and proving us in that time. It doesn't take 40 years to go from there to there.
Right.
Right? But it took us that long because the Most High was taking us through a purging process. He was cleansing us. So when we go into the land, we go into the land not carrying the filth of Egypt. Right? So now you're in Israel now? Was that the wilderness? Have you been purged? Am I prepared to be in Israel? I'm not prepared to be in Israel.
Right.
I'm not prepared to go back to my land. I can go and visit, but I'm not prepared to re-inhabit it and put it under the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. It only took me a few hours, less than a day, to get here. Right? Took them 40 years to leave Egypt, to purge Egypt out of them, for them to go into the land in purity.
Wow.
So don't think that we're going to leave America and just go back to the land in purity. It doesn't work that way. It's going to take time. We're going to have to come out of this Babylon the Great. We're going to have to be in the wilderness for a minute before we go back into the land. Does everybody understand that? And 33. Let's get that prophecy real quick. And then we'll You got it?
Come on, I'm trying to see where we can start. But go straight to 33.
Yeah, I think
32.
Oh, 32 is fine.
Okay, come. Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 32. It's the book of Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 32. And that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all, that ye say, we will be as the heathen, as the families of the countries, to serve wood and stone. As I liveth, saith Yahweh, surely with a mighty hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out, will I rule over you.
Right.
And I will bring you out from the people, and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered, with a mighty hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out.
Right.
And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face,
Right.
like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt. So will I plead with you, saith Yahweh.
So now he said he's going to plead with us when we come out of here, the same way he pleaded with us when we came out of Egypt. How long did it take us? 40 years in the wilderness. So you have to understand these sinners. Modern day Egypt, and from all the lands that we're scattered, we have to go into the wilderness, and there has to be a purging out process before we can enter back in the land as a nation again. Does everybody understand that? So you can't skip that and just say, I'm gonna go back to the land now. No, it doesn't work that way. You gotta go according to the precept, according to the prophecy. Okay, let's go back to Deuteronomy. So now
I want to
we
read to 38?
Huh?
Oh, never mind.
No, you don't have to read the whole thing. I just want to deal with the time period.
We're in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 1. Verse 2. I'll read from 1 again. All the commandments which I command thee this day shall ye observe to do, that ye may live and multiply, and go in and possess the land which Yahweh sware unto your fathers. And thou shalt remember all the way which the Most High Yahweh led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee, and to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no. And he humbled thee, and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doeth not live by bread only,
Right.
but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High doeth man live.
Right, so that's the precept that Yahweh Shai pulled on Shaitan on the mountain when he tried to bait him to make bread. So he went all the way back to what? To the us coming into the land, and pulled that verse on him. And that's how you use precepts. Right? Yahweh Shai used precepts. People say, oh, you always got to pull a precept or a Bible verse. Well, that's what Christ did. He went back and he pulled verses when he was questioned on things. Read on.
Thy raiment waxed not old upon thee, neither did thy foot swell these 40 years. Thou shalt also consider in thine heart that as a man chasteneth his shalt keep the commandments of the Most High Yahweh, thy power, to walk in his ways and to fear him. For the Most High Yahweh, thy power, bringeth thee into a good land, a land of brooks, of water, of fountains and depths that spring out of valleys and hills, a land of wheat and barley and vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of oil, olive, and honey, a land wherein thou shalt eat bread without scarceness.
What?
Without scarceness.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not lack anything in it, a land whose stones are iron, and out of whose hills thou mayest dig brass.
Right.
When thou hast eaten and art full, then thou shalt bless Yahweh thy power.
Then thou shalt bless Yahweh thy power. So just like in times of old, he brought us in the land where abundance was in the land. and we received that abundance. We sat back and blessed the Most High. That's how it's going to be when we get to the kingdom as well. All right, let's read on. Tell me that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 10. When thou hast eaten and art full, then thou shalt bless the Most High Yahweh thy power for the good land which he hath given thee.
Right.
Beware that thou forget not the land, the Most High Yahweh, in not keeping his commandments and his judgments and his statutes, which I command thee this day. Lest when thou hast eaten and art full, and hast built goodly houses and dwell therein, and when thy herds and thy flocks multiply, and thy silver and thy gold is multiplied, and all that thou hast is multiplied, then thine heart be lifted up, and thou forget the Most High Yahweh thy power, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage, who led thee through that great and terrible wilderness, wherein were fiery serpents and scorpions and drought, where there was no water, who brought thee forth water out of the rock of flint, who fed thee in the wilderness with manna, which thy fathers knew not, that he might humble thee, and that he might prove thee to do thee good at thy latter end. And thou say in thine heart, my power and the might of mine hand have gotten me this wealth. But thou shalt remember the Most High Yahweh thy power, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant which he sware unto thy fathers, as it is this day.
Right, so you get puffed up. You can get proud thinking, man, I did this. Look what I did. I got myself this wealth. I got myself on this level. Right? The more you receive, that pride comes into play. And you forget that the Most High is the one. He's the author. He got you there. He blessed you. Right? This is how Israel operates. So we got to be mindful that we're not operating that way. Read on.
Verse 19.
Yep.
And it shall be, if thou do at all forget the Most High Yahweh thy power, and walk after other gods, and serve them, and worship them, I testify against you this day, that ye shall surely perish.
You shall what?
Surely perish.
Right, so if we didn't keep it going, we were going to perish. Didn't we perish as a people? We got destroyed as a people. We're no longer a nation, so we perished. Read on.
As the nations which the Most High destroyeth before your face, so shall he perish, because ye would not be obedient.
Right, so now we enter the 9th chapter. So we see there that the Most High, he laid it out. And these lessons that we're getting as we learn about our past are lessons that we can use for our future. Right? If we're that generation that's going to go into the land, we know that it's not just, nobody could beguile you and trick you to think you could just go in the land. And they did that. Right? And they're still in the land to this day. But do they run anything? Do they have rulership? No. Right? I went out to the land. I met with those brothers out there in Dimona. They have a good little thing going, but it's not that much different than anywhere else on this earth that Israel is. They still oppress people out there. They still don't have no rights and no say-so. They still cannot defend. When they got to down in South Florida or anywhere else, right? So they're back in the land, right? So just to show you, wherever we go in the earth, we can establish things. We could say, you know what, we're gonna separate ourselves and, we're gonna live up in the hills somewhere and just have a compound, right? But at the end of the day, you're still in the hands of your oppressor. No matter what island, country, as long as you're on the earth, you're in the hand of your oppressor until the Most High lift that hand off you.
Job 9:24.
That's it. That's it. Job 9:24. The earth is given unto the wicked. Right? The whole earth is given to the hand of the wicked. You can't escape him until you go through the Most High. Right? Chapter 9.
Deuteronomy chapter 9, verse 1. Hear, O Israel, thou art to pass over Jordan this day, to go in to go in to possess nations greater and mightier than thyself, cities great and fenced up to heaven, a people great and tall, the children of the Anakims, whom thou knowest, and of whom thou hast heard say, who can stand before the children of Anak? Understand therefore this day, that the Most High Yahweh thy power is he which goeth over before thee. As a consuming fire he shall destroy them, and he shall bring them down before thy face. So shalt thou drive them out, and destroy them quickly, as the Most High has said unto thee. Speak not thou in thine heart, after the Most High Yahweh thy power have cast them out from before thee, saying, for my righteousness the Most High Yahweh had brought me in to possess this land. For the wickedness of these nations the Most High doeth drive them out from before thee. Not for thy righteousness, or for the uprightness of thine heart, dost thou go to possess their land, but for the wickedness of these nations the Most High Yahweh thy power doeth drive them out from before thee.
Right, so it's not because you are so great. These nations are nothing to the Most High. We make them out to be something. Most High said, listen, because they wicked, they nothing. I do whatever I want to do with them. He's only concerned with the nation of Israel. He's not concerned with these nations. All right? He said they're like a drop of a bucket. All right, hold on, give me Isaiah, what's that, 40? It says he count them as a very small thing.
Yeah.
I think it's 40:21. 40:17? That sound right.
Oh, Khan, you want to count them as less than nothing?
Yeah.
Khan.
What is that?
40 and 17.
40:17. That's right.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 17.
Go ahead.
And all nations before him are as nothing.
All right, what?
Are as nothing.
Go ahead.
Huh?
Start at 15. Go ahead.
Okay, Khan. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 15.
Go ahead.
Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance.
Right.
Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing, and Lebanon is not sufficient. They are counted to him nothing.
It has no what? No value, no worth. He said they're all vanity. Right? The children of Israel was who he's concerned with, and that's it. So whatever doctrine you might hear, whatever breakdown, whatever church sermon that's going to try to make you believe that these nations are going to be, there's no more Israel and we all equal in the kingdom, that makes no sense. Right? We was never nothing in the sight of the Most High. Right? Even when he was so angry with us and put us in a position of base and nothing, we still was his precious little ones. Right? He said, how is my silver and my gold has tarnished? Right? We're his silver and gold. Everybody understand that? So we're always of importance. Even when we're down and out, even though when he's causing these nations to destroy us, we're still his silver and gold. Those nations were never his silver and gold and never will be. All right, let's read. Let's go back to Deuteronomy.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 9, verse 5. Not for thy righteousness or for the uprightness of thine heart doest thou go to possess their land, but for the wickedness of these nations the Most High Yahweh thy power doeth drive them out from before thee.
Right.
And that he may perform the word which the Most High sware unto thy fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Right.
Understand therefore that the Most High Yahweh thy power giveth thee not this good land to possess it for thy righteousness, for thou art a stiff-necked people. Remember and forget not how thou provokest the Most High Yahweh thy power to wrath in the wilderness, from the day that thou didst depart out of the land of Egypt, until ye come unto this place, ye have been rebellious against the Lord. Also in Horeb ye provoked the Most High to wrath, so that the Most High was angry with you to have destroyed you. When I was gone up into the mount to receive the tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant which the Most High made with you, then I abode in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. I neither did eat bread nor drink water. And the Most High delivered unto me 2 tables of stone written with the finger of God.
Right.
And on them was written according to all the words which the Most High Yahweh spake with you in the mount out of the midst of the fire.
Finger on these stones. But they say, oh, you follow Moses' law. Right? And the Most High showed you that. I said, I gave you these commandments. I gave
The end of 40 days and 40 nights, that the Most High gave me the 2 tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant. And the Most High said unto me, Arise, get ye down quickly from hence, for thy people which thou hast brought forth out of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They are quickly turned aside out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten image. Furthermore, the Most High spake unto me, saying, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a greater than they. So I turned and came down from the mount, and the mount burned with fire, and the 2 tables of the covenant were in my 2 hands. And I looked, and behold, ye have sinned against the Most High Yahweh your power, and have made you a molten calf. Ye had turned aside quickly out of the way which the Most High had commanded you. And I took the 2 tables and cast them out of my 2 hands and break them before your eyes. And I fell down before the Most High as at the first, 40 days and 40 nights. And I did neither eat bread nor drink water, because of all your sins which ye sinned, in doing wickedly in the sight of the Most High, to provoke him to anger.
Right, so he said, I didn't eat and drink so I could fast for you all. So he was fasting for all the sins of Israel as he presented himself before the Most High, Moses. So that's why he was fasting 40 days and 40 nights for all the sins of Israel. Read on.
You want to hear something interesting? We don't know how true it is, but I think Radaz sent us a video that is Edomite doing research or whatever. He put it on TikTok. He said the fire on top of the mountain, that they found Mount Zion, and they saw the top of the mountain was black. And that according to what they call these guys who research volcanoes, that it's not, they tested the stuff that's on top of the mountain, that it is not a volcano. And also that there's the place where the molten calf was set up on stones is shut, like fenced off by, I guess, the Ishmaelites. That if you go there, you will be arrested because they still are finding pieces of gold.
Yeah. And that area actually is not fenced by the Ishmaelites, it's actually fenced by America.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
That's a very real place, and they keep it blocked off, and they don't let you go in there. They don't let even tourists go to that mountaintop.
Look at that.
Yep. So it's there, it's fenced.
We reading it right here.
So Esau knows. Listen, anything that can prove his Bible, he tries to disprove it. He makes you swear on the Bible. Says in God we trust. and then he wants to disprove the Bible. But why? He wants to breed a seed of doubt. Once he can get you to doubt, then he can make the Bible say whatever he wanted to say, right? But once you know you are steadfast, you strong in these scriptures, he can't get you to doubt. That's a problem for him. Now he can't turn and twist you the way he wants you to go. All somebody got to do is knock you off the truth, man, a little bit. Put a little seed of doubt in your spirit. They can start to manipulate you.
Right.
So he uses that to manipulate the people through religion. That's why religion is not factual. It's always built off emotion. You can play on somebody's emotions. You can't play on the facts.
Right.
Facts are facts. It is what it is, right? Right? But emotions, they change like the wind, man. You can feel, happy 1 minute, sad, whatever. So people play on those emotions. Jehovah's Witnesses come to your door. They always ask you how you feel about something. How about let's talk about what the scriptures say.
Right.
Right? That's why they don't knock on my door anymore. They probably put me on that list, blacklisted. No Kingdom Hall for you. All right? Because I'm going to say, what does the scripture say? Forget about how I feel. What does the Bible say?
Right.
All right? Let's read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 9, verse 19. For I was afraid of the anger and hot displeasure, wherewith the Most High was wroth against you to destroy you. But the Most High hearkened unto me at that time also. And the Most High was very angry with Aaron to have destroyed him. And I prayed for Aaron also the same time. And I took your sin, the calf which ye had made, and burnt it with fire, and stamped it, and ground it very small, even until it was as small as dust. And I cast the dust thereof into the brook that descended on out of the mount.
Right.
And at Tiberah and Massa and at Kibroth Hatava, ye provoked the Most High to wrath. Likewise, when the Most High sent you from Kadesh Barnea, saying, Go up and possess the land which I have given you, then you rebelled against the commandment of the Most High Yahweh your power. Against the Most High from the day I knew you. Thus I fell down before the Most High 40 days and 40 nights, as I fell down at the first, because the Most High has said he would destroy you. I prayed therefore unto the Most High, and said, O Yahweh, destroy not thy people and thine inheritance, which thou hast redeemed through thy greatness, which thou hast brought forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand. Remember thy servants Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Look not unto the stubbornness of this people, nor to their wickedness, nor to their sin.
Right.
Lest the land whence thou broughtest us out say, because the Most High was not able to bring them into the land which he promised them, and because he hated them, he hath brought them out to slay them in the wilderness. Yet they are thy people and thine inheritance, which thou broughtest out by thy mighty power and by thy stretched out arm. Book of Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 1. Read.
Yeah, go ahead.
At that time the Most High said unto me, Hew thee 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and come up unto me into the mount, and make thee an ark of wood. And I will write on the tables the words that were in the first tables which thou breakest, and thou shalt put them in the ark. And I made an ark of shittim wood, and hewed 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and went up into the mount, having the 2 tables in my hand. And he wrote on the tables according to the first writing the 10 commandments, which the Most High spake unto you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly, and the Most High gave them unto me.
Right.
And I turned myself and came down from the mount, and put the tables in the ark which I had made, and there from Berath of the children of Yaakon, Jachan to Mosera. There Aaron died, and there he was buried. Hence they journey unto Gudgodah, and from Gudgodah to Jotbath, a land of rivers of waters.
Right.
At that time the Most High separated the tribe of Levi to bear the ark of the covenant of the Most High, to stand before the Most High, to minister unto them, and to bless in his name unto this day.
All right. So, going just reiterating, Deuteronomy is a reiteration of the history and the laws, just reiterating everything that went down in chronological order, giving a little bit more detail, right? So we're going to keep reading. Read on.
Verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore Levi have no part nor inheritance with his brethren.
Right.
The Most High is in his inheritance.
Right. The Most High is an inheritance, because Levi didn't get his own separate land, but what lands did they get? What lands did the Levites get? Let's see who knows that. What lands did they get? Who remembers what lands Levi, the tribe of Levi got? Yeah, what's the city called? City of Refuge, exactly. The cities of refuge. Amongst all the tribes, there were several cities of refuge, and they were ran by the Levites, and they were where the priests would be in your local city, your local area. You see, in the land of Naphtali, there's a city of refuge nearby. If you up at Reuben, there's a city of refuge nearby. So those cities were there to go to your local Levite and to know what to do from there. If you have oblations that don't have to bring back to Jerusalem, because not everything went back to Jerusalem every day. There was oblations sent up at Jerusalem every day, but you didn't go to Jerusalem every day. Everybody understand that?
Right.
You went to your Levite. That's like your local priest. That's like your local, like, hey, we got a local school here, right? This is where you go. They're connected to the others, to the main, which is in Fort Lauderdale, right? Right. So this is how things connect. We always did things in this type of order. Does he have the map? Can he put up maps for me?
We're working on it right now, but our local Levi right there in front of you.
Huh?
Our local Levi right there in front of you.
Taz, you one.
All right, let's not get, that's why we have the Levi.
Right. Huh? And we have that map, the map on the wall. Soldier, okay, yeah. You got Gad, you got Manasseh.
You want this map?
Actually, I would like the how we were set up in the wilderness, where we set up in the ranks.
With the tabernacle in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Khan, and remember we read in Numbers 35, there was 40, just to reiterate what the chief is saying, Levite have 42 cities amongst the 12 tribes.
Exactly.
6 cities for refuge. So Levi was the same thing that's going on this present day. Levi is everywhere. Everywhere.
Your local
they're
Levi.
in Utah.
Your local Levi. You need him because that's how he was like your liaison
God.
to the tabernacle.
Right.
And in the tabernacle was the liaison to the Most High. So that was the order, right? So that was what we needed. So that Levi was always not too far away, right? That's why he said you got to reverence the priests that are amongst you. All right, let's read. Let's go back.
Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 9.
All right.
Wherefore Levi have no part nor inheritance with his brethren.
Right.
The Most High is his inheritance. According first time.
So I want you to take a look at this diagram on the screen. Could you
We need to zoom in a little bit.
So that's the example of what I'm talking about. Let's say now you was in Simeon. Can you get to the tabernacle? Who you got? tribe of Levi, right? The Kohathites, right? Let's say you was at Manasseh. Could you get to the the tabernacle every time, and nobody else can touch it. If you wasn't of that family, don't touch it.
Right.
'Cause they come in judgment on the Most High. So you have to let them do their work. Like, let them do their work. And this is a self-sufficient system in Torah. We're a nation that was self-sufficient. We didn't have to go to other nations for nothing. Right? We had part of our nation that dealt with every aspect that we needed to be dealt with. And then we self-sustained without interaction of other nations. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's good. That's good. The water. All right, read on.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 11. And the Most High said unto me, Arise. Did I read 10? No, let me read 10. And I stayed in the mount according to the first time, 40 days and 40 nights. And the Most High hearkened unto me at that time also. And the Most High will not destroy thee.
Right.
And the Most High said unto me, Arise, take thy journey before the people, that they may go in and possess the land, which I swear unto their fathers to give unto them. And now, Israel, what doeth the Most High thy power? Let's say it again. And now, Israel, what doeth the Most High Yahweh thy power require of thee?
Right. So he says that he did all this for us. There's a requirement that we have to fulfill. So now we know we Israelites, we have a requirement to fulfill for the Most High. Go ahead.
But to fear Yahweh thy power,
Right.
to walk in all his ways,
Go ahead.
to love him,
Right.
and to serve Yahweh thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of good.
Right.
Behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens is the Most High Yahweh thy power. The earth also with all that therein is. Only Yahweh had a delight in thy fathers to love them, and he chose their seed after them,
Right.
even you, above all people.
Above what?
Above all people,
He chose your fathers and their seed above all people. Go ahead.
as it is this day.
To this very day. Go ahead.
Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked.
And be no more stiff-necked. So the circumcision, the physical circumcision of the body, is a representation of your mind. Not being what? Hard-headed. Stiff-necked. When the Most High give you instruction, follow it. Change. Be able to convert. Don't be stuck in your old ways. You know, some people say I'm stubborn. I'm stuck in my old ways. But the Most High said, don't be that way. Yah gives us the instruction, we got to be able to move with it. Let's take a quick look at Romans
3:1.
2:25. If I start with 23.
Okay. This is the book of Romans, chapter 2, verse 23.
Uh-huh.
Thou that makest thy boast of the law,
Right?
through breaking the law, dishonorest thou Yahweh.
Right?
For the name of Yahweh is blasphemed among the Gentiles through you, as it is written.
Mm-hmm.
For circumcision verily profiteth if thou keep the law.
Mm-hmm.
But if thou be a breaker of the law,
Would that be a what?
a breaker of the law,
So like circumcision profiteth if you keep the laws. You keeping God's commandments, then circumcision is a part of keeping God's commandments. It's important, right? But if you out there lying, cheating, stealing, what difference does it make if you circumcised? It doesn't make any difference, right? It's not doing, you're not circumcised. Even though you're physically circumcised, you're not mentally circumcised. Everybody understand that? You're not spiritually circumcised. That's a reverse. Our physical circumcision is a token to our mental and our spiritual circumcision. Our ability to hear the Most High and to move as He has us move. So he said, if you keep the laws, the circumcision is good. But what? Read on.
but if thou be a breaker of the law, thy
Right.
circumcision is made uncircumcision.
Yeah, your circumcision is made
If the uncircumcision keep the righteousness of the law,
right?
shall not his uncircumcision be counted for circumcision?
Right. So if you're keeping the commandments, nobody can tell you, oh, you're keeping the commandments, but you know what? You're not circumcised, so you can't come to the sanctuary. Doesn't make any sense. The circumcision is a sign that you will keep the commandments. But a lot of our people, it says, they talk about us not being circumcised because while we were living as Gentiles, a lot of us weren't getting circumcised. But when we started turning back to the Most High law, statutes, commandments, our children then will be get circumcised. But that shouldn't stop you from coming and serving the Most High. We see what he's dealing with here. Read on.
And shall not uncircumcision, which is by nature,
Mm-hmm.
if it fulfill the law,
Right. So uncircumcision is by nature, meaning that what you're not born circumcised. Do you understand that? Something has to be done to you. So it's by nature, meaning that you didn't keep the law, or your parents didn't keep the law of circumcision when you were born. That's not going to stop you from keeping the law, statutes, commandments.
who by the letter and circumcision doest transgress the law?
Mm-hmm.
For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly, neither is that circumcision, which is outward in the flesh.
Right?
But he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart.
Circumcision is what?
That of the heart.
But circumcision is that of the heart. It's always about your mind and your spirit, circumcision. So whether you circumcise or not in the flesh, and nobody's going to check, right? That's between you and your doctor, right? Whether you circumcise in the flesh or not, you have to be circumcised in your heart. To keep his ways and his commands. All right, does everybody understand that? So it's physical circumcision can't help you if you out there in the world anyway. You're wicked anyway. And physical circumcision cannot hinder you from keeping God's commandments also. All right, let's read.
In the spirit, I'll read it again. Verse 29. But he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart. In the spirit and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of Yahweh.
All praise to Yahweh. So let's go back to Deuteronomy. Just want to get a little understanding on circumcision. And it is. But if it come across that a child is not circumcised, it doesn't stop them from keeping the commandments. They still can keep them Lord, statute, commandments. That's a physical symbol for a spiritual condition. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 16. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked. For the Most High Yahweh, your power is power of powers,
Right.
Lord of lords, a great God, a mighty and a terrible, which regardeth not persons, nor taketh reward.
Go ahead.
He doeth execute the judgment of the fatherless and widow, and loveth the stranger, in
Right.
giving him food and raiment. Love ye therefore the stranger, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. Thou shalt fear the Most High Yahweh thy power, him shalt thou serve, and to him shalt thou cleave and swear by his name. He is thy praise, and he is thy power, that have done for thee these great and terrible things, which thine eyes have seen. Thy fathers went down into Egypt with 70 persons, and now the Most High Yahweh thy power have made thee as the stars
You know, another thing you have to understand, don't make captivity worse than it has to be. Because sometimes we increase the sorrows on ourselves in captivity. We make this place harder than it even need to be. Right? Most I never told us to do that. Right? We have to deal with what we need to do in this world and prepare ourselves for the world to come. But you still got to deal with what you need to deal with in this world. Everybody understand that? Don't make yourself impoverished. Don't push yourself down low poverty level so you could be. Scriptures say, I think Solomon said it the best, don't give me poverty and don't give me riches. Right? But feed me with that which is convenient unto me. That's Proverbs 30 and verse 8. Give me what's convenient to me. Right? So I can praise the Most High. Keep service. All right? Don't multiply sorrows on yourself. That's another class, but that's all scripture. This is all Torah. Told us don't do that. Don't make this place harder than it needs to be. All right? Let's go back to Deuteronomy. Let's finish up in 11. Chapter 11, right? Yeah. Chapter 11, verse 1.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11, verse 1. Therefore thou shalt love the Most High Yahweh thy power, and keep his charge, and his statutes, and his judgments, and his commandments always. And know ye this day, for I speak not with your children, which have not known, and which have not seen the chastisement of the Most High Yahweh your power, his greatness, his mighty hand, and his stretched out arm, and his miracles and his acts, which he did in the midst of Egypt, unto Pharaoh the king of Egypt, and unto all his land. And what he did unto the army of Egypt, unto their horses, and to their chariots, how he made the water of the Red Sea to overflow them as they pursued after you, and how the Most High have destroyed them unto this day.
Right.
And what he did unto you in the wilderness until you came into this place. And what he did unto Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, the son of Reuben, how the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their households and their tents, and all the substance that was in their possession, in the midst of all Israel. But your eyes have seen all the great acts of the Most High which he did. Therefore shall ye keep all the commandments which I command you this day, that ye may be strong, and go in and possess the land, whither ye go to possess it. And that ye may prolong your days in the land, which the Most High sware unto your fathers to give unto them and to their seed, a land that floweth with milk and honey. For the land whither thou goest in to possess it is not as the land of Egypt, from whence ye come out, where thou sowest. But the land whither ye go to possess it is a land of hills and valleys, and drinketh water of the rain of heaven. A land which the Most High Yahweh thy power careth for. The eyes of the Most High thy power are always upon it, from the beginning of the year even unto the end of the year. And it shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto my commandments, which I command you this day, to love the Most High Yahweh your power, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul, that I will give you the rain of your land in his due season, the first rain and the latter rain, that thou mayest in thy fields for thy cattle, that thou mayest eat and be full. Take heed to yourselves, that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. And then the Most High's wrath be kindled against you, and he shut up the heaven, that there be no rain, and that the land yield not her fruit, and let
out the scriptures, man. So today, we said we have some difficulties with the camera, so we're still working on some things with the camera and the audio. But so far, it's been going pretty well. The camera's up. So we do have to work on scheduling the day that we're gonna do the charity work. So we do need to discuss that at a later time, where we're gonna distribute these clothing and waters and everything we're gonna be giving out. So we have to discuss that. Also, please don't forget next week, Shabbat, right? That should be August the 7th. Next weekend. Is it August the 7th? So make sure I'm correct.
Could you put that up on the screen? The calendar.
Right. Is it the 7th? The 7th is when we're going to keep the new moon. So we're going to have the Shabbat like we normally do. We'll go over the portion. And then right after that, we go out to camp for a little while. And then we're going to have our service for the new moon. Everybody understand that? All right. Also, the Tabernacles is coming up, right? It's September, I believe it's there's the...
All right, good. Yeah.
What we got there? What we got there for the Tabernacle?
The 20th.
All right, the 20th. Here you go.
September 20th.
Right, so September 20th is the Feast of Tabernacles. So we're going to be keeping the opening of that at the headquarters at 2937 West Broward Boulevard, the home of the truth, all right? So, all right, so we're going to be in the tents. Is going to be in Lion Country Safari, all right, on the 21st. We'll be there for a number of days, 7 days, I believe it is. And on the 8th day, we'll go back to the headquarters to keep the closing of so everybody get the correct information. So we have a few new moons coming before that day. The memorial blowing of trumpets. We will be holding that here. Yes.
The opening will be at the school and the closing is at the school. So we'll only be at the park, I believe,
5 days.
Right. The
5 days?
To the 26th.
Okay. The 21st to the 26th?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, so we'll be at the park from the 21st to the 26th. But we'll be keeping the memorial blowing of trumpets here. And the evening, September 15th, we'll be keeping the Day of Atonement here. Mm-hmm. Okay? So these are the dates so far. September 6th, memorial blowing of trumpets. And September 15th, the Day of Atonement at evening. We'll be keeping it here. So remember, that's a day that we're going to fast and pray. And the 16th, from the 15th to the 16th at evening. So just remember to make sure that you are scheduled off work. That time is not a time for you to be working for Esau. It's the time that you should donate your spirit, your flesh over to the Most High. All right. So we'll be, as always, next week I will be announcing these dates and letting you know exactly what's going on. Everybody understand that? Okay. All right. We are still, I know everybody's maybe a little bit uncomfortable, but we are working on, the air conditioning. Please don't forget your donations, right? Remember Acts 20 and 35. It's better to give than it is to receive. Remember your commitment, which is very important, all right? This is how we keep the lights on. This is how we, keep the video going. This is how we stay here inside this place. Con? All right. So whether you here or you're not here, you might be going abroad, remember your commitment, all right? Because this place still has to stay open. Con? Con. All right. That's what's up. So if you don't know, the Cash App is the $sign loztreasurecoast. Right? And then we have envelopes, so we'll give out envelopes later today so you can give in your donations. All right?
That's LOZ Treasure Coast all written out?
Yes. That's LOZ Treasure Coast all written out. Con.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like that.
That is seed was taken already?
Yeah. No, we don't want that. We want it straight out. That's the cap. That's the big cap. Set that up. All right.
Okay.
So you know everything is big. You know, as you can see behind you. Right.
All right.
So with that, I believe that might be it with the announcements. We did mention about the tabernacles, which is important. That's one of the top 3 holidays that we all male must appear before the Most High, and not empty-handed. So please do remember that. It's very important, right?
And understand that last year we weren't able to dwell,
Right.
because of the evil disease that was going around in Esau's kingdom,
Pestilence.
right? The pestilence that the Most High sent through. So he wasn't able to find a place to dwell in booths. So this year we there. So don't allow this whole week to go by without at least, if you're unable to rent a place. Try to do as much as you can do. The Most High knows, your ability, what ability you have financially and things of that sort, to be out there. And if you can't make it, but come participate. We're going to be doing things every day. You know what I mean? We're going to be having, different services, different there to the part. A beautiful event every year to have, and it just sparks that remembrance of the Most High blessing us and taking us away from our enemies for a minute. So definitely you want to come and experience that. So
Right? When do you get a chance to be out there for 7 or 8 days and actually be serving the Most High in righteousness, Didn't Snoop and them always say barbecues every day, right? Can you imagine barbecuing every day of the week?
every day.
Every day. You wait. And non-stop yayan blends, all right? Non-stop. That's it. Continuous. Perpetual. All right? That's the way it gotta be. Right? So just imagine that. So why would you want to keep Thanksgiving or New Year's Eve? That's just one simple day. And you could be doing a righteous thing by serving the Most High and keeping His high holy day. Right? And so for us to remember that we dwell in booths in the wilderness is the reason why we keep this. All right? God? All right. I believe that's it. The women are preparing lunch and stuff. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to set up the closing prayer. Amadim Wapanya Yerushalayim, stand to face Jerusalem.
Bless the food.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Who's the power?
Yahweh's the power.
Who's the power?
Yahweh's the power.
By Hashem.
Yahweh Shai.
By Hashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Kurash, kurash, kurash.
Kurash.
Kurash, kurash, kurash.
Kurash.
Holy, holy, holy.
Holy, holy, holy.
Is the name.
Is the name.
Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Holy, holy, holy.
Holy, holy, holy.
Is the name.
Is the name.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Kwam Abanawa Yahweh.
Hum Abanawa Yahweh.
Kwam Abanawa Yahweh.
Hum Abanawa Yahweh.
Kwam Hamashiach Yahweh Shai.
Hum Abanawa Yahweh.
Kwam Hamashiach Yahweh Shai.
Hum Abanawa Yahweh.
Kwam Yasharala. Yahushai. Hawa'ah. Adonanawa. HaShabbat. Shalom. Barakashah. Shemai. Zepalayim. Barak. Barapah. Wakazak. Mamagun. Mashma'ayel. Akim. Akwathim. Barakashah. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Mashiach. Yahushai. Yachach. Shaitan. Yachach. Shaitan. Yachach. Kol. Rai. Chayim. Yachach. Kol. Rai. Chayim. Barakashah. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Mashiach. Yahushai. Barak. Ma'akol. Noah. Ashadah. Noah. Bayayan. Noah. Barakashah. All praises be to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob for his mercy truly endure forever. We thank you, Yahweh, for giving us the Shabbat day in peace. We thank you, Yahweh, for opening that portion unto us. We thank you, Yahweh, for all the wisdom that we received today. We thank you, Yahweh, for all the souls that is in this room, that they continue in righteousness as they go forth throughout this earth, that they shine that light to all those they come in contact with. Use us, Yahweh. Use us to bring Jacob again to thee. Use us to restore Israel on this earth, that the blessings may come and that mighty day, that blessed day of redemption be at hand. All this we ask in the name of thy Son, Hamashiach Yahushai. Let all that have breath praise Yahweh. Hallelujah. Let all that have breath praise Yahweh. Hallelujah. Let all that have breath praise Yahweh. Hallelujah. Bahashem Hamashiach Yahushai, Tuwalatim Yad, Amen. In the Most High hand, hallelujah. In the mouth of babes, Yahweh perfected praise. In the mouth of babes, Yahweh perfected